Hi, this is Sec Greens by Andre, where I do predictions of the future. If you'd like me to do prediction for you, let me know in the comments below. Just a reminder, we do lives here on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central, or Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central. So make sure you mark it down on your calendar. And we got Domino with us. Hello, Domino. Hello. He's sitting on my lap today. Let's get ready. Let's get into the show today. So today's topic is Bitcoin, the opportunity of a lifetime. So many people have been looking at other cryptocurrencies, trying to capture that lightning in a bottle for the second time. Basically, what Bitcoin had done in the very beginning. And we have to remember that Bitcoin was the beginning of everything. Trying to get our freedom back from the banking cartel. This is why Bitcoin was started in the first place. After the 2008 crash, which I was involved in as a financial advisor back in the day, just something that came out as a cause to everything that was going on at that time. I remember being on the phone for all the clients that we had and telling them to calm down. Everything is going to be fine. And of course, as we find out much, much later, that it wasn't fine in the long run. Okay. So there's that. We got a lot of people coming into the chat. Hello, everybody. We got Pop Rocks. We got Dilly. We got Horse Soldier. Hello. How are you today? Make sure you get all the questions that you want answered for today's show on the side panel. Well, for me, it's the side panel. If you're on YouTube, it's also on the side panel. All that sort of thing. So we have a nice full show for today. Let's get into why Bitcoin is the opportunity of a lifetime right now. Right now is the price it's been kind of low. It's not that bad. It's like 27,000 Canadian, which is about 2024 American. If you, I'm not too good on that conversion, but I think it's pretty close. Okay. Now is the time, as we see BlackRock getting into the scene. Okay. With the Coinbase, I believe they are using now to get into the Bitcoin ecosystem. Okay. For those who don't know, BlackRock has a computer program that points out the things that the people of BlackRock need to invest in now. And their computer program is basically pointing to Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. So this is telling when a huge company like that comes into the market, expect craziness, expect chaos going on, but also expect the price to explode very, very soon as more and more of the elites, okay, are starting to get into the cryptocurrency space. Now, we have to ask the question, why are all these elites buying Bitcoin and not some unknown cryptocurrency that you enjoy? Why are they getting the Bitcoin at this moment in time? Okay. It's just saying that is where everything is going to be going. Money is going to go where the attention is. The attention right now is on Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's where all the money is going to go, especially the big players. Okay. Now, you should be getting into it, of course, not financial advice, of course, for that reason, and that we all want freedom, even though our Canadian government here in Canada is trying to say a bunch of negative things about cryptocurrencies going forward. If you have a certain amount of cryptocurrency that you buy in a day, we're coming to arrest you and doing all this sort of thing. Much of that is they can't really track all that well or have the resources to do the things that they we're saying. It's a bunch of this. Okay? Unless you put a target on your back, you should be perfectly fine. Okay? So let's look at of course, I should mention the price. This is probably one of the lowest prices that you're going to be getting Bitcoin at before it explodes. So right now is the moment in time when regular people could get one Bitcoin if they stretch a little bit. Okay? Oh, Yvonne's not here. She's at work. But that's okay. I'm flying solo today, so I'll try my best to keep up with you guys. Okay, let's have a look at what the Bitcoin and what it means for us into the future. Okay. Shuffling the cards. So a lot of people are going to be getting out of the Bitcoin because of all the things that the banking cartel and the government say. And they're going to be, oh, it's no good. I got to get out of it and sell my Bitcoin at a lower price. And where the elites will come and scoop that price up at that nice low price. So the cards are revealing that the health of this situation is much to what I just previously said. I just put the cards down. That a lot of the people that were thinking that Bitcoin was done, that's pretty much a fallacy. Okay, we have the opposite for many of the people who stay into the Bitcoin ecosystem. And there is going to be some hurdles, as we have with the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is your goal, and something coming between that, okay, for the next little while, as governments and banking cartel do the things that they're doing. But overall, it's going to be good for the next little while, okay? So the money-wise, it's going to get down a little lower for the next little while, okay? And then it's probably going to be exploding after the ETH 2.0, the merge, the purge, the splurge, and all that sort of thing going on with the Ethereum blockchain going, I think it's next month on the 15th, 16th, around there, that they calculated the block to be when everything starts to happen. It's not all going to happen at once, but that's the beginning of the new system, unless they find some thing going on within the programming that's not so kosher. But I believe that is pretty much the pinpoint time when everything is going to be starting. We've only been waiting 6-7 years for this 2.0 to happen. So why not wait a little longer if we need to? So in this period of time, we're going to see the prices dive down a little bit. This is for Bitcoin and most of the market, because everything follows the Bitcoin price. Okay, Bitcoin is the market, no matter how you slice it or dice it or whatever. Bitcoin is the standard, the gold standard, which everything is based on, and all other cryptocurrencies are based on the price of Bitcoin. Okay, so right now we have this opportunity to be greedy. Okay, remember I always say that when everybody's afraid, be greedy. When everybody's greedy, be afraid. Okay, so when everybody's afraid, buy as much as you can. Not financial advice, you do what you want to do, but now is the time to start thinking about buying more and more Bitcoin as we move forward into the new system. The old system's collapsing, and it doesn't take a brain surgeon to see that. If you just take a tertiary look at the financial news, and a lot of the outcry from the government is to keep everybody in the old system. they're flailing around and saying all kinds of things and threatening you and all that sort of thing. It's just them trying to keep you afraid of the new system that's coming in, which they are buying into at the moment. Every time, every day, there's news of some large company stating that they're getting into the Bitcoin. Okay? So, how long does this take to collapse? It's collapsing now. Okay? If you haven't been paying attention, it's collapsing now. You go to the supermarket, your prices of food and all goods is going to go up. And once it goes up to a certain amount, especially this harvest season coming up, people are going to be more selective on the things that they purchase at the store. So all those goods that are on the shelves that nobody's buying, those companies will now have to get rid of or lay off people because their products aren't selling. Okay. And this is going to cause this domino effect. So just be warned that in the harvest season, with October, September, something like that, prices are going to go pretty sky high, and maybe a tiny bit after that, because it takes about 6 to 12 months for everybody to realize what has just happened. Okay. So once the new harvest season happens, it may be a tiny bit after that when you can't afford many of the things that you used to buy. And now we're going to be selectively shopping if you aren't already. And it's not because foods are necessarily more expensive to buy. Okay. It's just your fiat currencies don't have the purchasing power that they once had. Okay. It doesn't cost more labor. Well, especially with all the governments doing stupid things with fertilizer. It doesn't take more labor to get the crop off the land or put it in the land, get to processing, that sort of thing, and get it to the supermarket. It's just your fiat currency, okay, doesn't have the purchasing power that it once has. Bitcoin keeps its purchasing power much, much better. Okay, so just keep that in mind. This is something that people have a hard time wrapping their heads around about their currencies. Okay. We went to the shopping store. A head of lettuce was $3 something at the supermarket. Now it's $6, so it's doubled. Okay, the wife likes buying salads. That price has gone up quite considerably. Okay, it's more than doubled. Okay, so think of it that way. We are crashing now. Okay. Yeah. So right now is the great opportunity to buy that Bitcoin at a nice low price. Okay. So let's look at the next thing, and I gotta switch screens here. Now we got all this talk of a bill that fights inflation. We hear it from the White House. We hear it from the Canadian Parliament. We hear it from on high. And most of this is basically they're trying to use all the tools in their tool shed, which normally don't work. They're going to try to fight inflation through price controls. You're going to probably see this in the next little while. Okay. We're going to see prices come down, but we're going to be paying for that control through our tax money in the next 30 to 40 years to fix the problems that our elected officials had done all along. It's either they're that incompetent or it's planned, whichever helps you sleep at night. So let's have a look at the cards at the bill that fights inflation, which you can't do. But it's a thing. You see it a little bit here and there on the news. It's a band-aid on everything to make people feel a little bit more comfortable with this situation. But it's going to come back and bite you on the ass later on. Okay? And they've done this in the past. They did it in 1970s where they put price controls on everything, especially gas back in I think it was 72 when I was 2 years old. I do remember a little bit of that time in 1970s where gas prices were astronomical and we had to hitch rides with each other and do carpooling and all that sort of thing just to make it through the situation. And then they put price controls on everything, and now we're still paying for that situation that the governments had put in place because they like to do something to us in the rear. Okay? That's being the nice way. So let's have a look at the cards of the price, the bill to fight inflation. It's an interesting card that came out. We got our friend who's very comfortable. All right. This basically the health of that situation. I think at this point in time of them trying to pass a bill to fight inflation is going to be falling flat. It's just a lip service to the people to make them feel a little bit more comfortable with paying higher taxes in the future. Okay. To get that quart of milk at a little cheaper price, to get that gas at a little cheaper price. But this is pretty much the result of all that. It's a 10 card of swords. It's going to be very swift. It's going to be a momentary relief, but it's not going to last very long. Financially, it's not going to do much for us regular folks, and it's going to be pretty much collapsing in on itself in that time period when they do that. Coming up very shortly, we got the world card. It's reversed. Okay, so they were thinking that, well, they might have thought that it was the solution to all the problems of all the high prices in the world, and it's probably going to be falling flat. It will be falling flat on its face in the next little while. And this is why we get into cryptocurrencies, to get rid of this, okay? Because cryptocurrencies hold their value much, much better. Not all of them. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. Now we got XRP and BCH, which is a little bit better than the regular fiat currencies that we generally use in markets. The people that are involved in this are going to be, you're going to see a lot more politicians running away or quitting or missing in the next little while because of this wonderful thing that they're trying to implement overall. And we're going to see big changes in government because the people will be demanding change in a big way. And this, we're already seeing this in the United States where DeSantis is really coming out with some really good things, and Trump. Okay, here in Canada, we have Pierre Poilievre, which is probably going to be our next leader here in Canada. He's going the opposite to what Trudeau had been doing. And we're going to, unfortunately, have to survive another 2 years of Mr. Trudeau doing all the stupid things that he's doing because he's part of that club. He's part of that Klaus Schwab club, which wants us to have nothing or own nothing and be happy about it and eat bugs. Okay, and that's what it's all about, trying to control us and to keep us in fear so that we think that we need them to protect us from all the things that they had started. Wonderful, isn't it? So if you're looking for somebody to blame the politicians. Okay, so let's get into the next thing. It's this bill of that fights inflation is only going to be a temporary fix. It's going to be relieving a little bit of the price gouge, or not gouging, but the prices that we're going to see. But it's going to hurt the farmers and all that. And we're going to have more business farming, corporate farming that's going to be taking over, because they can take the brunt of all that money lowering. Okay. But overall, it's going to be biting us in the ass in years to come. Probably the next 20 to 30 years, we're going to see it. Okay. I know the dark is going to 20 years. And I'm being generous with that. Okay. It's going to take a long time to fix many of the problems that the governments have been doing for us. So let's get into a different topic. Somebody was asking the question about solar flashes awakening the chosen. Now, there's no real chosen. It's your what you think is the thing. Okay, and solar flashes didn't do anything for me necessarily. I've been doing this since I was 5 years old, which I knew I was a little different than the other kids. But there are going to be more and more people, because the vibration of the planet is changing to a better system and a better consciousness. And it's going to be awakening people's abilities. We're all psychic. Okay. You're only as psychic as you allow yourself to be. And then you would need to start to get some training on how to use your abilities and how to calm the mind away from all the monkey chatter, and not do all these knee-jerk reactions that people are prone to through emotion. We have to learn to control our emotional state. Okay. Like my old Grandmaster Simon from Kung Fu used to say, Mr. Gerard, who's controlling you or your emotions? Okay. So we have to always try to control our emotions at all times and not live in fear. Unfortunately, many of the people around the planet are living in fear. Those ones who know how to control their fear through meditation and practice and using your gifts and trusting those gifts will succeed. Okay. Many of the people here probably have those gifts and they haven't used them, or use them to the full extent that where they can be used. Okay. So I'm thinking it's more of the energies of the earth that are changing right now, that are making more and more people aware of themselves. It's all about ourselves in this case. Okay. And to start to use our abilities for the betterment of everybody. I remember a teacher, when I did readings, I still do readings, of course. It's not about you, it's about them. Okay. So you have to make that switch in your mind when you're doing readings for other people, and many of you should be doing them or start to. Okay. It's not about you, it's all about them. Okay. And when you start down that path, you become more and more accurate and help more and more people, because it's about the other person and not about you. You're only the receptacle of the information to the person or to the world, like I'm doing now, or to communities around the planet, to help them. Okay. So you have to remember, it's not about you. Okay. It's about them. Okay. When you're doing a reading, and many people are starting to awaken and starting to use their abilities much, much better. I'm always encouraging people to find a group around you to get training, because it can be overwhelming. One of my teachers always used to say, there's a thin line between psychic and psychotic. Okay. If you do not have the training and you go full hog on your abilities, you can go a little kooky, and I've seen it. Okay. But with proper training or a group that does it, you can do much, much better and not be afraid of the abilities. It's more natural, I find, being a psychic than not being a psychic. Okay, but that's my reality. It may not be yours, but always encourage people to find people or other people like you around yourself. Okay, for that training. But yeah, it's more of the energies of the planet that are changing the people that have that natural ability. Okay, so last one until we get into the chat is somebody's asking about UFO Coin. We've talked about it many times. I think it's going to do okay. It's not going to be amazing. You're not going to become a millionaire by holding one coin like Bitcoin, but I'm thinking it has some legs to stand on for the next little while as many gaming tokens come out. Okay, so let's have a quick look at UFO Coin. And we got Domino in the background. Meow, meow. Okay. You gonna say hello to everybody? Hello. Hello. Okay, UFO Coin. Let's give it a month. What's going to look like in the next month? I think emotions are going to be very good. We got the Ace of Cups, which is all about emotional state. Okay, Domino likes it too. We have, but in the beginning of the month, everybody's going to be a little bit predisposed to other cryptocurrencies and not focusing on UFO Coin for obvious reasons, because there's other things happening around the planet that people's minds are on. But it will start to ramp up a tiny bit after the next month or so. The price is going to be held back. A lot of people that are into UFO coins are going to be hung up on the idea and how to move forward. But I think the price is going to be making a change for the better in the next half month or so from today. And then we're going to have some good times with it. Okay. We got the King of Pentacles, which is all about finances, right? Pentacles are always about money and acquisition of goods. So by the end of the month, I think we're going to see a bit of a jump up. But I do see some good buying opportunities out there for everybody moving forward for the UFO coin as it's going through its cycle. Everything goes through a cycle, and it's going to be coming down. Everybody's like, and doing the knee-jerk reaction of selling their coins at a cheaper price. And those people that understand buying and selling are going to be buying up those cheap coins and riding it back up. Not financial advice, of course. I have to make that statement. But I think more and more people are going to be getting on the UFO coin thing. Even though I don't think the games are going to be huge, they're going to have enough of an audience to keep it moving forward for the next little while, as is shown in the people that are involved in this one. There's going to be a moment in time when everybody's going to be not so happy with the outcome for the short period of time. Okay. It's one of these things that you're going to have to be very, very patient with. Okay. Moving forward. You just got to buy it, sit on it, and drink your coffee. Pet a cat. Chase your dog. Chase the wife around. Whatever you need to do to keep your mind on other things. Okay, let's get into the chat. Lots of people asking questions. Okay, first question from Pop Rocks. Hi, Andre. What is Ripple's intentions with XRP? Will it make people rich? In the long run, yes. It will make people rich. They do have a plan behind the scenes. This is basically them holding back the SEC from all the other cryptocurrencies. The SEC is starting to get into all the other cryptocurrencies at this moment because of the previous things that I had said. They do not want this new system to be the thing, because when the new system comes in play, they lose a good portion of their power over us. Okay? They need to keep control of the money system so they can control you and me. Okay? But all of us that are into cryptocurrencies in a major way, or we are all crypto nuts here, we would have that freedom over government. Okay. They don't want that. Okay. This is why they're trying to get rid of the stable coins, which is direct competition with the CBDCs, which is central bank digital currencies, which they're trying to roll out. And I think it's going to come out and people are going to use it, but it's not, it's going to be the same thing as the fiat currency. It's going to have the same value or purchasing power as regular fiat currency. It may hold back the tides of total collapse for a short period of time, but in the long run, it's going to be the cryptocurrencies that take over because it holds its value much, much better. So XRP, it's going to keep rolling on. As we're watching the news about XRP, they're still doing business. They're still making deals all around the place, except for the United States. Okay, they just did something in Brazil, and the where is it? The Middle East. They're doing a lot of good things and building things there. So XRP is not dead in any stretch of the imagination. They're just having a little bit of a roadblock in the United States. So to any of these companies that are solely in the United States, I would suggest getting to other countries. There are other countries out there, not just the United States, that you can do business. So it will make people rich in the long term. It won't be immediately. Okay. What's the highest price you see with Safe Haven reaching by the end of this year? Okay. Now, I don't see prices exactly. I know if something's going to go up or something's going to go down quite a bit, or it's going to have relevance in our society coming up. I think I've done readings on Safe Haven in the past. I can't remember exactly what I said, but it's not really something that's on my radar all the time. I'm more concerned with the cryptocurrencies that are on the bottom. And of course, they get the biggest amount of news. So it's in people's minds. Money goes to where attention goes, right? Okay, so I'm thinking it's not going to get very high in the next year or so. It's going to be around, but I'm thinking it's going to be merging with some other project. This is the moment in time when we're going to see a lot of cryptocurrencies fall off a cliff. Okay, because they don't have the goods. And then we're going to have a lot of cryptocurrencies that merge with other cryptocurrencies and rebrand themselves and rethink their path forward. So this is that time. And we're already seeing a lot of cryptocurrencies fall off a cliff at this moment in time. Okay? Because there's thousands and thousands of these cryptos that either scams or they don't have really any real world use. Look for things that have real world use, okay, going forward. And especially look for things that are going to be attaching themselves to Ethereum or Bitcoin in some fashion, or do something completely different that fits a niche within our society that's not covered by Bitcoin or Ethereum, which is hard to do. Okay. I don't think it's going to last, but it's not going to be doing this amazing price hike that everybody was thinking. There's some legal things that they're going to have to get through, and all the hard work that they've been doing. We got that 10 of wands, but it's reversed. So all the hard work that they've been putting into everything is going to be for naught, unfortunately, for the next year. After that, I think they're going to be rebranding and getting together with another company, and I think they're going to move from there. For the short term, I think you can do some good trades with it if if you have that skill set. But I'm thinking that it's not going to be lasting forever, never, never, as a cryptocurrency in its present form. Okay, thank you for that question. Hi, Andre. 4-card read on Luna. 4? Okay. For Luna Classic. Binance, MEXC are all talks. There's the operative thing. They're in talks. Doesn't mean that it's going to be successful. Luna Classic. 4-card read. Now, in the next year, with all these things happening, I think they're going to have a tiny bit of a comeback, but it's not going to be anywhere close to where it used to be. I don't think it's going to get to that dollar anytime in 2023, maybe 2029, because everybody's going to be gun shy and not everybody's going to be wanting to get back into that classic mode. They're going to go with the new one. I'm thinking you can get, if you're on the old blockchain, you can get the coins on the new blockchain. I would suggest doing that. I think there's a way of doing that when they forked it. Okay, and go with that. So I'm not sure how you would do that. I was never into Luna Classic, but I believe there is a way of finding if you were holding coins in Luna Classic, I think there's on the new one. Okay, so look into that and play with that instead, because that's doing okay. Okay, it's like $2 or something, $1 something at the moment. I don't think Luna Classic's going to really have this comeback that everybody's hoping for. So a little bit of relief for Horse Soldier because he loves that Luna Classic. Look into if you can get the coins on the fork. Okay, because I do remember seeing a news article about that where if you're holding coins on the classic, they're actually on the new blockchain. Okay, so look into that. Okay, this whole talk thing, I don't think it's going to be amounting to much in the future. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you. Dilly says BTC is at 121,000 American. Excellent. Buy more. Okay, because we already know the end of the movie is Bitcoin is going to go to much, much higher price. 21 million is doable by many people to get one. Okay, at this moment in time, it's not quite out of reach for the average person. Okay, there may be roadblocks. There may be, wherever you live in the world, there may be roadblocks on getting it. Okay, but there's always ways around these roadblocks, and there's always ways around, as my grandfather always said, there's always look for ways around stupid. Okay, and in this case, it's the government, and you can probably snag a 1 or 2 Bitcoin if you have the means. Okay, not financial advice, but at this moment in time is the time when you're probably going to find Bitcoin at this low price. Okay, and then from here on in after Christmas, it's probably going to be out of reach of most regular folks. Okay, so when it's low and everybody's panicking, what's the thing? Be greedy. Okay, and you got Pop Rocks. Who needs BTC? I do. It's going to be the thing going forward. Dilly. Hi all, BTC is at 21 US today. Will it go lower? I was picking up yes. How low do the cards say? 19? I think it's more in the 19,000. Okay, range 14 maybe, but I'm thinking closer to 19. And we've already discussed this on this channel. Probably going to do that for a week or so, or maybe a few weeks. And then when the ETH thing happens, everything's going to start to go up in price like crazy. Because BTC is not going to stay there. They don't want to be outdone by another coin. And the fact that BlackRock is buying up Bitcoin at a tremendous rate, there's going to be this less and less cryptocurrencies that you can buy on the open market. Okay, so when everybody gets excited about Bitcoin again, and it'll happen, it happens in cycles all the time. Doesn't matter how low it goes. When it goes to nice low, buy. It's not rocket science. And then when people get excited about it again, it's going to go boom. Okay? It's just the normal pace of things. Okay? So yeah, it's going to get to that 19. I'm thinking 18,000 mark in the next little while. And that's not going to last very long. So if you got some cash and it's not going to hurt you by not paying your bills and stuff, or not putting food on the table, go for it. Okay? Should you buy Bitcoin and not altcoins? No, buy both. I think Bitcoin is going to be the bigger one, and Ethereum. So you should be focusing on those two at the moment. And as I always state, these are the ones that are going to be propelling us forward into the future. Okay, that's the BTC, the LTC, the ETH, the XRP, the BCH, and Chainlink. Okay, so if you're looking for ones to get into, those are my recommendations, and just not mine. It's many other YouTubers that know a little bit of what's happening behind the scenes with governments and the elites and all that sort of thing. They're going to be trying to base, or will be basing everything on these cryptocurrencies. And much of the SEC with the XRP and all that is scare tactics to try to keep you out of XRP. Okay. What else we got here? Okay. Hi, Andre. Will Star Alice be listed on Coinbase in the next 2 years? Will it reach $5 by 2025? Okay, that's a good question. We did a little bit of Star Atlas the other day. So I'm thinking it is going to be listed on Coinbase and many of the other exchanges in the near future. I don't think it's going to be reaching that $5 mark because of how it's constructed. I don't think it has a burn mechanism quite yet. It's like fiat currency. Okay, once you keep pumping out coins like crazy with no end, it's hard to keep or build value within individual coins. Okay, once you start to put a burning mechanism on, and you have lesser coins on the market, and then your price can go up. But if you keep printing coins like the Federal Reserve, your coins lose value every time they print coins. Okay, or fiat currency. So once they put something like a burning mechanism, or they reduce the amount of coins that are burned or brought out, then you're going to see the price rise tremendously. But I don't think they're going to be doing that before 2025, and I don't think it's going to be reaching that $5 mark in that time period. Okay, it's kind of like Dogecoin. I think they do like 10,000 coins or something every day or more. Nothing wrong with Doge. It's just really hard to get real huge value out of a coin when you keep printing over and over and over. It's like the fiat currency. You keep the money printer going, and it's gonna take a long time for it to gain value. You gotta have to have a lot of people putting in money. But once you it keeps losing value. It's not like Bitcoin where there's only going to be 21 million coins. Okay, so there's a limit to the amount of coins in Bitcoin, where Star Atlas and many of these gaming platforms and Shiba Inu, which actually has a burning mechanism now, or Doge, there's no limit. Okay, so it's really hard to really build up quick in a short period of time. Okay, so first part of the question, yes. Other part, no, unfortunately. Okay, thank you for that, Anne. Will Tesla stock be higher at end of year? Now it's at $890 US. Okay. Well, that's a good price. If you're into Tesla stock, it's a good time to get in. If you already have some Tesla stock, I would just sit on it. Okay. Don't cash out at a loss. It will come back. Okay. Big companies always do well in recession because they are helped out by the governments and stuff. So it will go up, but not in a huge margin by the end of the year. A lot of things are going to happen because it's going through a crash at that moment in time. But after the crash, and it's going to take a few years to fix itself. It's always about 5 to 6 years to get back on your feet after a crash in the traditional market. That's going to be the case here. It will go up more than most other stocks. So if you're looking for a quick thing, that's not where it is quite yet. It's a little quicker than other stocks, but I think it's going to be not as much by the end of this year because there's a lot of things happening in that time period that's not going to be helpful for growth in the stock, this particular stock at that moment in time. After everything, all the dust is settled, yes. Okay. But not until a whole bunch of other things change themselves. There's this whole world that happens, okay? And all the things happening in the world affect everything else, okay? Unfortunately, people kind of have this narrow view of the world. It's just the crash has to happen, and it would be the most humane thing to have happen for the short term, okay? Because the markets are a lot of false things happening in the market. What you see is not what you get. So it's going to have to flatten out and then start to rebuild from there. Okay. We did not fix the problems of 2008. We just put a band-aid on it. Okay. And by pumping money into the system, it keeps everything above where it needs to, so it gets superheated. So when it does collapse, and it is collapsing now, it's going to crash even harder than it has in the past. Okay. Pop Rocks asked the question, will XRP replace Bitcoin? And that's a quick no. They do separate things. Okay. Ethereum could be stated that they're going to be taking over the top spot, but all three of those cryptocurrencies do different things overall. They all have different jobs. So BTC is more of the savings account, which is amazing. XRP is more of a quick transaction thing at the moment. ETH, it's the computer of the internet in blockchain form. It has a different purpose. Okay. Bitcoin and XRP are two separate animals. And they do different jobs. Okay. But I think Bitcoin, all the elites are putting their money into Bitcoin, all the governments of the world are putting their money into Bitcoin. That'll be the huge, it'd be the gold, okay, of the world governments and stuff, where you save your capital. XRP will be the thing that you can utilize to trade money between banks and between commerce. Okay. They have different jobs. Okay. Thank you for that question. Do you still see XRP dropping down to 10 cents soon? Yeah, it's probably going to be in the next little while. If you're doing trading, yeah, yeah. Okay, first card off the top. Timing, it's going to be in the next couple months that we're going to see that, along with everything else and all the things, all the hurdles that XRP has to overcome. It's going to be bringing that price down a little bit more than what it is today. It's 30 cents Canadian. So I'm suspecting you're asking for American price. Yeah, it's going to go down in the next couple of months to about that price. And then it, like everything else, it's going to go up again. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. And I think we already answered this. We crashing? Yeah. Still seeing 14K coming in the harvest season. Yes. Or very soon. Well, we already answered that question. Do lunar eclipses affect the markets? In a way, yes. A lot of the people controlling everything have this. There's this cult. I'm going to just throw the cards down for a second. A lot of the elites that are part of this cult, and they all pray to an owl thing and all that, they use astrology and all that to have a timetable on the things that they want to do to rule over us and to change things in the market. And it's also indicators for them to buy in and to sell. Okay. The lunar eclipse itself does not have really any effect on the market. Okay. But the elites that are part of that cult utilize calendar dates of lunar eclipses and moon movements and all that sort of thing for their plans. Okay. And they plan these things years and years in advance. Okay. They're actually behind their schedule. They wanted a whole bunch of different things to happen before now. And right now, what you're seeing is them hurriedly trying to put things in place, and it's getting really sloppy. And this is why people are starting to realize that the governments and the powers that be are full of crap. Okay. And they're starting to, it's like the analogy, how do you cook a live frog? By turning up the water slowly. Okay. But because they're so behind their schedule, is they've cranked the temperature in the water and all the frogs are jumping out. And this is what we're seeing today. So, in a sense, yes, but just because the elites and their occult thinking have these things as indicators when to do things. Okay. And it does affect us as people in eclipses and stuff, but marginally. Okay. It's more the elites doing things based on a time schedule. Okay. Very interesting question. Thank you for that. What is the actual role of 5G? Part of that, I know people are, it's a weapon and it's this and it's that. Part of that is to, if you read the World Economic Forum, okay, they wanted the 5G to be everywhere because in 5G you need the towers have to be very close to one another. Okay, they wanted to charge you for every time you walk down the sidewalk. Okay, and they needed a system powerful enough to pick up your phone, locate your phone, and you would have, I got a lot of things on there, and to charge you through your cryptos. Okay, it's called proof of location. Okay, that was part of the plan, and it's actually stated in their website. So every time you walk down the sidewalk or drive down the sidewalk, you're paying little satoshis, okay, behind the scenes to pay for the sidewalk. This is how they were thinking of getting out of debt overall, and they needed a strong system for that. As a weapon, it's kind of effective, but not. It's the fear related to that idea that's making people act strangely and actually getting sick. Ideas can make you sick, okay? Thoughts and feelings become actual sicknesses, okay? That's why we have to control our emotional state all the time because it can cause sickness in the body. It's like the traditional natives. They think of sickness as an idea, a bad idea that you had, and you're carrying that around with you. Okay, and that's why they use the hand drum and the sacred medicines to get rid of that idea that you've implanted into your body that has become a thing. Okay, the power of the mind is very powerful. So if you think that the 5G towers are going to kill you, you keep that idea. I'm not saying that they can't do something with the 5G towers, but it would screw them up as well. Okay. And you would keep that idea within the body as sickness. Okay. And this is why we got to get our thinking a little bit better and not into fear. When we're in fear, disease happens easily or easier. But if you're not living in fear, disease doesn't have control, can form in the body. Okay. And then when you release anger and other emotional states that don't aid us in any way, we can be very, very healthy. When you're always concerned, this is the fine balance. Yes, the elites are doing things against us, but it's only a thing if you keep thinking about it or excuse me, worrying about it, because now it becomes a thing within your thought process and becoming disease and within the body. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. But overall, it was to charge you. It's actually on their website. Go look on World Economic Forum that they were going to charge you for every time you walk down the sidewalk with proof of location. I can't remember the cryptocurrencies that were based on that. There was a couple that came out, walking apps. Okay, every time you walk down the sidewalk, little satoshis are getting go into their bank account for paying for the fixing of the sidewalk or the road and all that sort of thing. That was part of the plan. Okay, The killing everybody, no. But it was more of a money-making thing. Okay? Thank you for that question, Dark. What's my favorite flavor of bugs? None of the above. None of the above. Here's an interesting one, and then we'll tie it off here if it pops up. Show. Will it come up? Aha. Been seeing XRP all over. It's been freaking me out, literally. I'll be freaked out. Buy more. As I was saying previously, XRP and Ripple are doing business everywhere else. So it's in, if you watch TMI or YouTube channels like that, they talk about XRP doing business everywhere else but the United States. So they're still doing its thing. So if you have a mind to, buy more. Okay, not financial advice, of course, but don't live in fear, or try not to live in fear. Don't have these knee-jerk reactions going forward. A lot of the things that the governments and the politics, all that do, you can basically ignore in a way, and not live in fear over that. Okay, that'd probably be my overall message. They're trying to, their backs are behind. This is the elites. Their backs are behind the wall, are against the wall. They're doing everything and anything to scare us into compliance. Ignore that. Okay, understand enough to stay out of the way of everything that they're doing, but don't react to it personally. Okay, directly. Always go around the situation. It's like kung fu. You never attack, or when you're defending against, you always go to the side and have the thing pass you. Okay, don't be in direct line of the punch. Okay, and this is where you have to be in control of your emotional state, and that's through meditation. And all the there's many ways of doing that. Okay, with that, always, it's our hour is up. Didn't take that long today. Okay, always grateful for the people that are watch every day. We do lives here every Saturdays and Sundays at 10 o'clock a.m. Central, and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central. So make sure you mark it down on your calendar. If you like to personal reading with me, make sure you go to secretreadingsbyandre.com, where all that information is there. If you like to see me on other platforms, that information is also at secretreadingsbyandre.com. The wife's been working on the website, doing all the great things that she does behind the scenes for you guys and for me. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be as far as I am at the moment. she's awesome. If you'd like to, what's the next thing? If you like to protect your cryptocurrencies in the best possible way, we have our Treasure affiliate link and the secretreadingsbyandre.com, where me and the wife make a little bit of money for cat food, for Domino. If you should purchase a Treasure from there. Okay, so until we meet again, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future.